Hi everybody, my name is Amber Rogers, and please call me Amber. And I'm going to be teaching you hybrid composition this fall. And I just wanted to send out a video before class got started to let you know what you can expect in this class and what you can expect out of the hybrid setting, just so you know what's coming up. If you realize at the end of this video that maybe this structure or this class isn't for you, I also wanted to give you time to switch sections to a traditional class if that's what you feel you're more fit for. But first, just offer me a few minutes of your time to let me explain how this course is going to work, and I'll let you decide. So heads up, everyone has to take composition. We all know this. I know also that already most students that I have are not English majors, and when you sign up for comp, you usually are somewhat dreading the course ahead, or maybe at least you're apathetic when it comes to composition. I've done enough of these classes to know that. Sometimes I think this is because students have had negative experiences with English classes, and sometimes I think it's just because they're frustrated because they have so many gen eds to take and they just want to get to the classes that help them with their major. But whatever the reason, you're here, and I think hopefully you're asking, what should you do about it? The short answer, the obvious answer is make it work for you. You've got to take these courses, so I would encourage you to make the most of it. Sure, we'll be writing a lot in this class, which may or may not make you excited, but I've got some good news for you. I know that you already know how to write. You write every day, whether that be texting, social media, tweeting, whatever. The younger generation writes more than ever before. Certainly more than the generations in the past. All I'm here for, and what this class is hoping to do, is help you make your writing work for you. It's about learning how to communicate your ideas, which are probably already pretty stellar, but in a way that makes sense, so you can use that skill set in whatever you want to go out and do in the world. In the end, it's your ideas that are the most important. The writing itself is just the vehicle you hop on to convey them. So, here's the secret. It's hard to teach composition. I mean, if you think about it, I'm not testing you over anything, really. There are no tests or even quizzes in this class. I'm not giving you a whole bunch of information to memorize and then regurgitate back to me. Sorry, history classes. I'm helping you hone a skill set, but you still have to write about something, right? So in our program, in English first year writing program, we tried to come up with a few somethings based on a few very relevant and important topics that likely already have and will continue to alter the way you view the world. So in my class, and like most Comp 1 classes, we have it broken up into 3 units. The first is called Crime and Punishment, and we'll discuss the nature of the complicated and some would argue broken prison system in the United States. We'll be reading current essays, listening to podcasts, and of course watching an episode of Orange is the New Black to understand how our penal system is run and how or whether we should do anything to change it. The second unit we'll be covering is called American Values, and it primarily deals with how capitalism operates in America today. From how you treat yourself to how we're all currently still affected from that nasty recession in 2008, you may or may not recall. We'll learn how your identity is largely centered around money. I'm also going to make you balance a budget, and we'll take a look at a fantastic movie called The Big Short. And, I'm also, for both of those units, going to make you write a paper. Finally, in the last unit, we call it What's Wrong with Normal. And in this unit, we'll be discussing the concept of normativity. That is what we think of as just human nature or as regular in our society. This relates back to privilege and systemic racism and sexism and lots of other important issues. And towards the end, we'll be looking at movies to understand how they purport or undermine the concept of normal. Specifically, this semester, we're going to be looking at the movie Logan. You'll also be conducting your own multimedia project to see how normal operates in your life and to depict it creatively for us, and how the concept of normativity helps shape your identity. So that's composition. The other part of this class that you might have questions about is what is hybrid. You just signed up for a partially online class, and you may or may not know what that consists of. Essentially, you'll notice that on the schedule, we only meet face-to-face once a week. All of my classes this semester will be on Tuesday, which means that the rest of the class has to be online. It's important to note that it's not like we're going to meet up virtually in a space on Thursday if your class is on Tuesday or anything, but it means you'll be using Canvas a lot more to learn, and you'll more often than not be contributing in an online setting. What I want to show you real fast, if I can bring it up here, excuse me while I exit this, is just our class on Canvas so far. And I'm still building it obviously right now, but I wanted to show you, these are the modules that are going to be happening each week. So after each face-to-face class, you'll have a series of tasks you'll be asked to perform in what Canvas likes to call a module. So each week will have a different set of tasks. You'll move through it in the order that it's presented. And there will be a variety of tasks that you'll ask to do. So sometimes you might have to watch a video. Sometimes you'll contribute to an online discussion, visit a website, write a short journal entry. This is how we supplement face-to-face class time. Also, it's important to know that almost everything you hand in will be handed in digitally via Canvas, which we'll talk more about and we'll become acquainted with. But you'll definitely want to familiarize yourself with this learning management system if you haven't yet. As of fall 2018, all courses at UNO will be on Canvas instead of just half on Canvas, half on Blackboard. So it's something you definitely want to become familiar with. Going back in. So, I guess what else we want to talk about is the fact that because half of the class is online and half of the class you'll be kind of working through on your own, pacing is really important. More than anything with a hybrid class, it's crucial that you keep up with both the online work and the face-to-face work. Each session, whether it be what we learn from the module or in our time together in the classroom, builds on each other. So if you miss either of them within any given week, it's kind of like skipping a chapter in a novel. You'll be confused and you'll feel like you're behind very quickly. So you have to have a certain level of self-motivation when taking a hybrid class, sort of like you do with an online class, except that you'll see me once a week and I'll be there to cheer you on. But you have to know that there's certainly some self-motivation that needs to be involved, that you have to be fairly determined. You kind of you're going to have to want to do some of the work. And of course, because some of it is online, there will be naturally a little more reading and writing. I create a lot of videos like the one you're viewing now, but it's not exclusively just videos. You're going to have to read a little bit more and write a little bit more in this class, which hopefully is not a bad thing because that's what you're here to learn about. So, of course, next week in our class, you're going to learn more about what composition entails, and if this in the end sounds like it's up your alley, kick your feet up and stay a while. I'm happy to have you here. However, if the nature of the hybrid course sounds a little too stressful for you, or if you have a hard time staying motivated, feel free to contact our program administrator. His name is Dustin Penley, and his email is listed right there for you if you're interested in switching to a traditional section, which you still can do. That's kind of one of the main reasons I put this video out a little earlier and asked you to look at it before class started. So that's all I have for you right now. Thank you for watching, and I'm so excited to meet you all. Again, if you have questions or concerns at all before we get started, my email's right down here for you. Shoot me an email or shoot me a message on Canvas. That course should be going live very soon if it hasn't already, and I'd be happy to answer any of your questions. Thanks all.